You are now listening to Candid Discussions, live on Ripped Radio. Candid Discussions serves you up with the best place to be to discuss love, dating, relationships, and all the obstacles that come with them. Kick back and listen to Kandy and Unrestricted D on Candid Discussions.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Candid Discussions. I'm Kandy.
And I'm Unrestricted D.
And if you don't know, Candid Discussion is an online radio show where we get together every Wednesday, D and myself, always have guests that come in and just talk about love and relationships and dating type of topics. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, we talk about, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. All right.
Well, look, let's just get right into it because we only have an hour. But as Kandy said, we're here every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. here
sir.
on ripradionetwork.com.
Yes.
So this evening on Candid Discussion, we have two outspoken and outgoing women.
Definitely.
Yes, they are.
They
Yes,
definitely
they
are outgoing.
I have gotten to it, both of them, respectfully, and I got to know and love each one of them separately. So, how did they get that way? Well, maybe tonight's topic has something to do with it. Our first guest is a good friend of Kandy and myself, and her name is Charlie. Charlie is an MBA entrepreneur, event manager, professional networker, chocolate enthusiast, and a woman of the world. She is a DMV transplant and a mother of 3 beautiful children who loves enjoying each other and having a great time. Now, Charlie's only flaw is she doesn't like Capricorns.
Oh, I understand.
I
love them, but I definitely don't like them.
But that's just a joke for Capricorns. So, our next guest probably don't need no introduction because if you see me and Kandy, I'm sure you know who she is. After a life of taking care of others, 20 years of ups and downs in a broken marriage, Sunshine Aces realized the time had come to make a choice to find peace in mind and happiness. After sending her daughters off to college, putting her mother in a senior care facility, and making her brother find his own way, she filed for a divorce. With determination, preference, and a never losing hope, she rebuilt her life as a free spirit, and that is her hashtag. Moving to her own beat. She enjoys life to its fullest and lives by work hard, play hard. Surrounded by many friends, admirers, and fans, she's definitely living her best life without regret.
Yes, welcome
to a Candid Discussion.
Welcome,
ladies.
Charlie, and welcome, Sunshine. Thank y'all for coming out.
So if you are watching us or if you're listening to us, Charlie is to our left, facing the camera, and Sunshine Aces is to our right,
yes,
facing the camera.
Yes.
All right?
All right. So y'all both on the show. The show topic is surviving after a divorce. I know people don't think surviving is a good term, but it's just pretty much how you pick up the pieces, how you move on with your life. What do you do? And there's a lot of people who don't know what to do now after they divorce, and people who are now in the 40 age bracket are either starting over, kids went away, and now they've gotten a divorce and just trying to figure out what their life and what to do. So I figured this would be a good topic, and it's nice to have two strong women on the show.
Yes,
Thank you.
strong.
And who definitely seem that they're living their best life after divorce. So y'all both seem like y'all have some good role model examples to give to women who need to take that step.
But let's not just give the credit just to those two. You are also a divorcee, correct?
Yes, definitely.
You have survived.
Yes.
But I do know personally that Charlie don't like the word surviving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she, Charlie, when we had that conversation, they're like, why was the topic surviving? Why you feel like surviving isn't a proper topic for it per se?
It just seemed like it's like a victim. Like you feel like a victim that, You seem like a victim, like you had to overcome these tumultuous relationship. But every relationship is not that bad. I mean, where that you're surviving. It just didn't work out.
Okay.
Sunshine?
I don't really like the term surviving either, because I had already decided that's what I wanted to do, so I had kind of pre-gamed.
Yep.
So I was ready to move on.
Okay. So how long were you married, Sunshine?
I was married for 10, but we were together for 20, so I still say I was married 20 years.
What about you, Charlie?
So, I guess in the grand scheme of things, 14 years, but we knew each other for, I guess, 19. Can you hear me?
No, we can.
Yeah,
Yes.
19, 19 years. So it was college, sweethearts type of deal.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Kandy?
I was married for 12 years. 12 years, but we were together for 17 years.
And myself, I was married to the game for like 30 plus years.
I believe you. 39 years exactly.
To the game?
Yes, until
To the game.
November 2nd.
Oh, okay.
2018.
Then I had to divorce my game.
So, a lot of people are worried about getting divorced. How long did it take you to actually move through the process of once you decided that you're getting divorced? How long did it take you to move through that process?
Unfortunately, my ex-husband was really bitter. It was a rough divorce. He got it postponed as many times as he could. He refused to cooperate with anything. So it took almost 2.5 years. I finally had my divorce date, and he called the court and said he had to have surgery on his neck. So when the clerk called and asked me, was I willing to, let him move the date out, I said no. But they granted it anyway.
Oh,
so
wow.
I still had to wait another 6 months to get another date to get divorced.
Oh,
And then he
wow.
tried to take me for palimony.
Oh.
But he filed no answers through the hearing, so he didn't get anything.
Okay. Dang. Charlie?
Well, thank God it wasn't a bitter. It wasn't bitter. So when we made the decision, when I made the decision, and he finally agreed to it, it just went through the natural process. We didn't have any, okay, we settled everything amongst ourselves. So it wasn't about, I'm going to take you for this, I'm going to take you for that. Nope, I didn't want anything. I'm still keeping my name for now.
So you divorced with, I guess it can't be positive. Can it be positive?
Well, it was amicable. That would be the word. I wouldn't say positive.
I didn't go to college like you all. So I need to know what that is.
No, well, it was peaceful. It wasn't, I'll do this to you and you do this to me. Like she said, you don't show up, not sign a paper, not do anything. It was pretty straightforward.
So as the only one here that hasn't been married, I have to ask you ladies this. When do you get to the point that you actually want to divorce? It's kind of like, I don't want to do this no more. Not necessarily I hate your guts, but I can't be in a situation anymore.
I hate your guts.
Oh, okay. Since you said that, Sunshine.
I mean, when the bad times are more often than the good times, I didn't just want a divorce for me. I wanted a divorce for us because we were young enough and career enough that we would be okay without each other. A lot of times I think people stay together because of the kids or because of financial issues or things that you have to take care of together. So you lose sight of being happy. You just fall into a routine of every day. But then when you wake up and you're not happy, it's time to make a change for both of you.
Agree.
Charlie?
And actually, I am that person on the other side that we stayed together for the kids. You just want to make sure they're okay, but you're actually hurting them because you're going through all the things that you go through. They see it. They're not stupid.
They feel it.
They feel it.
Definitely.
And then you're not a good role model for them. You're not showing them what a good relationship, what it is to love someone. We try to love on them, but if we're not loving each other, we're showing them that negativity, and then they interpret it as if it's their fault. like they had something to do with it. So we stayed together for kids, finances, didn't want to make that separation because, you like your two incomes together. You like the lifestyle that you're living. So we did all that. But I knew early on,
Early on meaning what?
it was probably before I got married that I shouldn't get married. But
I knew as well.
So
I know we never should have got married.
I'm going to get to that. But Kandy, what about you?
What was the question?
When was it that you kind of knew you wanted a divorce?
I knew when I hit 30 I wanted a divorce. I realized that I was carrying all the weight of the relationship, all the bills, everything. I had to take care of everything. He was heavy into weed, spent more time smoking than doing things. We weren't dating, we weren't going out, we weren't doing anything. He would just hang out with his friends and smoke. And then on top of that, he was abusive to me. And then when he hit my child, that was the end of it. I couldn't take it anymore.
Hold on, you said your child.
Mm-hmm.
You sound
Our
like a
child.
Oh, there you go.
At that time when you hit my child,
It's your child.
It was my child. I had to protect him. So
Okay.
it was a combination of things. And like Sunshine and Charlie said, I don't think we should have gotten married. We got together when I was 15 years old. And I got pregnant when I had my son when I was 17, so I didn't have a life, and then the things that I was going through with my family, it kind of pushed me into him. It was I had nothing else, and he was the only person that was there for me, so it kind of forced me into him. And if I had probably a more stable home, I probably would have never fallen victim to his ways. If that makes sense.
It makes
All right,
perfect sense.
so let me be devil advocate here. So let me be the a-hole. So I think collectively, all three of you all said you felt like you shouldn't have got married. So I'm going to be the a-hole. Why get married then?
I had 2 kids by him,
Right.
and I wanted them to grow up with a better life than I had.
Okay. Charlie?
I think it was a combination of, we had okay, sorry, let me get it closer. Oh, I should.
Tilt it up.
Okay.
It's a
There you
big
go.
black thing that you
I
know.
know. Okay, there we go. So I think it was a combination of, I knew I shouldn't get married. We had a son. Let me see if I can work this out type of deal. He's not that bad. He can be a great father. We can work on everything else.
Okay. Kandy?
The reason why I married him is because we had a child together. We were together since I was 15. I didn't see myself with anyone else. And even when we got married, he was abusive. So it was just the path that I saw myself having to endure. And I didn't see any other way for me.
Okay, so I have another question. Do you have a question before I cut you off?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, ladies, at what age did you get married? Do you feel like, what age did you get married? I'll ask the second question then. Charlie?
I need to go somebody else.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
Sunshine?
Feel my age.
I'm going to tilt
I
that
keep
back.
dropping my people, right? I had to be, I want to say 30,
Okay.
but we had been together since we met when I was 19. And then I had my twins when I was 21.
Okay.
Wow.
Kandy?
25.
You got married when you was 25?
I got married 24. I got
24.
married when I was 24. I had my second son when I was 25.
Okay. Sunshine, you were,
Now,
no, you were how old?
I was 30, but I was
30.
19 when we got together.
Okay.
And I had the kids 2 years later. So we were married.
Okay.
Early 20s.
Early 20s? So, is it fair to say that you all got married young? Because
I think that's
I-
fair,
I
very
think-
fair.
I think it's fair, but I don't think it's that I got married young. I think I got attached to him too young.
okay, so that's my second part. So you've been with your ex-husband how many years before you got married?
7.
7. You were roughly
Maybe.
And we've been
Probably
together
8.
12 years.
12 years. And you were with your
You talking about
ex-husband prior to actually getting married?
I think it was like 4 years.
Okay. So it's pretty much a bond built before the actual marriage. Because it's years versus, you know, sometimes people.
Marriage is just it's the piece of paper that makes it official. But if you're residing together, you're raising your kids together, it's just the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. I don't want to monopolize the conversation. Hey, look, I'm ready to go in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, is it? I don't want to come off male chauvinist, but
Okay.
do you ladies feel like you all got married for the kids?
Of course, I did.
Give me a percentage, please.
What percentage?
Yeah.
100.
Okay. That's high, but okay.
When he proposed, before I answered, it was at Christmas dinner with both our families. I bent down and kissed my daughters, and then I answered. It was 100% for my daughters.
I want you all to answer too, but do you feel like he maybe proposed because of the kids too?
No.
Okay.
He comes from a very strong family background. I didn't, and he's all about family. He's a great man. He just wasn't the right man for me.
Respect. Charlie?
So he proposed to me prior to us having a child together, and I said no. And then the second time,
So why did you say no?
I
Before
didn't
you
think
go to the second time?
I didn't think he was ready.
Okay.
I didn't think he was ready. And so the second time he proposed to me, it was a shock. And I honestly, I wanted to say no. I just felt compelled to say yes.
Wow.
And I'm just being real. I just felt compelled to say yes, but I still didn't think he was ready. But for my son's sake, I was like, I understood that sometimes women mature faster than men. So maybe,
So they say.
So
They do.
maybe
It's true.
we can grow together. And then I saw some great qualities in him that you can build upon. So I thought.
Okay. Candy?
I don't think. I didn't. 70%, 60%, maybe, because I didn't. It's not that I didn't want to be a single mother. It was more so that I didn't want my child and I not to have the same last name. I don't even think he proposed. I think we just got married. Like literally, we woke up one morning and flew to Vegas and got married.
You flew to Vegas. That's hot.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
You just married the wrong man. But that's hot.
yeah, it was definitely the wrong man. But even when we had our marriage ceremony, I wouldn't even look him in the eyes. I knew probably then in my heart that we shouldn't have been married. But when you with somebody for so long, you don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You just think that's the last person you're gonna be with because you're with them.
It just seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Now,
And then
just sitting here listening to y'all, I mean, just say if I was viewing this or listening to, outside of knowing you all three of you are remarkable women. So, but I would think, like, did you all marry out of love? Because
Love
being
for my
married
kids.
is supposed to be out of love, correct?
love.
I'm not sure. Well, I don't believe that. No, I don't believe.
So you don't believe people should get married for love?
I mean, I think love is a portion of it, but no, I think it's got to be other factors in there.
Give me a percentage.
I mean,
I like percentage.
She don't like when you put her on the spot like that.
40%, and you can grow into more.
40% in
That's
love.
low. That's low. No, we respect your opinion. Don't get me wrong.
Because people have things in common. People have lifestyles in common. And then they grow together, and they build a love. Love can come later. You don't necessarily have to be in love at that moment in time. And if it's right for you, and you both feel that it's right, then what? I hate to say it. What does love have to do with it?
Okay. Sunshine. Oh, you got a question?
I mean, I kind of agree with Charlie. Like, I didn't have to be. I definitely was never head over heels in love with him. Never. I don't even know if I ever really loved him. I think it was more so when we met, I was young. Like, I didn't want to be, I definitely wanted to get out of my home.
We got a caller? Oh.
I gave the right number this time. Candid discussions.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, who we have on the phone? Who do we have on the phone?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is this, to the ladies on the panel today. If you could do it all over again, would you go to counseling first, and why or why not?
I don't know if you're talking to me.
She said
No.
ladies.
Both of us.
She said ladies.
Oh, no.
Hello? Caller, you still there? Oh, okay. Sorry about that, caller. It was technical difficulties right now.
Yes.
And I would expound
You can
because
answer the question.
Because if you're listening, the reason why I said no is because for me, counseling means that you two want to work together. I did not want to work together. It made no sense. I was not in love. I didn't want to continue because we were not on the same path. It didn't make any sense to go to counseling.
And actually, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Candy.
Actually, I did go to counseling. I went to do 2 different counseling people to repair our marriage, and what the counselor suggested, he refused to do. So the counselor advised him to give me space, to let me be in a room by myself, to just and stop smoking in the house and things like that. He flat out refused to do any of the things that the counselor said, even though it was his suggestion to go to the counseling, because I told him I was leaving him.
Sunshine?
Most of our time together, it was really never about me and him. It was really about, raising our girls, and we were both really into them. So almost everything that we did surrounded a life for them. Like all the decisions we made, homes we bought, everything. Like we were building the future for the kids. So it was never really about him and I. And I think what really made me know we were over, and I never should have gotten married. I should have just stayed single. And I never wanted my girls to go with another woman. Like I wanted to raise them. I didn't want them moving back and forth in homes. But in hindsight, the decisions, like you said, the decisions I made for the kids it was just ridiculous. And as soon as my daughters were headed to college, I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, okay, I need to stop playing these games. I'm very unhappy. I've been unhappy for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunshine, you said you waited until your kids were adults
So they went to college.
And you, Charlie?
No, they were in high school. Well,
Okay.
One was out, but they were in high school.
Okay, so Sunshine, did you discuss any of this with your kids, and how did they feel about you staying with your ex-husband for them?
Well, we never discussed it when they were older, but they knew what was going on. They knew we were both unhappy. We spent a lot of time together, me and the girl. My kids. We still spend a lot of time together. So me and the kids were always together, and he was sort of the one who was typically left out. So they were actually, one of them had a really bad relationship with him because of the way he treated me. He wasn't like physically abusive, but he was definitely mentally abusive. Because if you don't love someone, you're not showing them love, and that's very hard, for a man, that you're not showing him you love him. Like you're just routine. Like when we had we used to have people over. People thought we had this perfect relationship. It was all a facade. It was all fake. But we never touched each other. Mm-hmm. And then after we got divorced, they were like, I thought I never saw y'all like hug or kiss and I'm like, why would I do that? I don't really like him like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And Charlie, although your daughters are older, but you did wait till they were a little older.
My daughter and son.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your son and daughter were older.
So the conversation, never had a conversation like, how do you feel about the divorce? But we had conversations about relationships and how when it doesn't work, when you're not happy. But they can also see that. They knew me as being the fun, happy-go-lucky person, but after a while they start seeing sadness. And so when I started doing for me and start making my moves and getting out of this situation, they start seeing the happiness, they start seeing the joy. So they knew they could put the two together and equate, okay, when she's away from dad, she's happy, but when she's here, she's sad. So they saw that, and so we had discussions about that.
Okay.
I feel sad right now
Why do you feel sad?
because I haven't been married to experience some of the things you'll.
You're gonna have
about
a long, prosperous.
You about to
wedding,
be really
don't-
sad.
Don't worry.
Well, I know I've been not be on here
I'm about to
next
say,
year talking about divorce.
I know, right?
When I get married, it's forever.
It
till death
it
do
better
us
be.
part.
It better be.
It's till death do me
It
part.
better be.
I do think because I know you all personally, like your situation is a lot different. So I do, I know everybody says, oh, you're supposed to get married before you do certain things together, but I'm total opposite. Like get to know the person you're marrying and make sure you can handle their bad and their good.
I agree.
Yeah. I got a lot of bad in me.
So on that note, we're going to take a quick music break, but we will be back with Candid Discussion here on RipRadioNetwork.com.
Yes.
Got anything to say before we go?
Roll the music. Okay.
All right, welcome back to Candid Discussion here with
Kandy
and Unrestricted D.
and Sunshine and Charlie are here on deck talking about, I'm gonna say, life after divorce, because evidently
That's a good title.
It should
I
have
like
been.
that.
It should have been surviving a marriage, life after divorce.
Well,
So-
actually, the first part would be kind of surviving, and then this one part of the show could be life after a divorce.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just want to start off. I'm gonna start with you, Charlie, since I started with Sunshine last time. Are you happy?
Right now?
Are you happy now that you're divorced?
I am. Because I've put things in place for myself and my kids, and I'm making my own way. I'm not dependent on anyone. I wouldn't say I was asking permission, but when you decide to get married, you want to do things in tangent. So now I can actually just make a decision on my own. So it feels good.
All right, so on my feed, KK said, divorce is a dance of mixed emotions, but when kids are involved, both parties have to be adults and make grown folk moves.
Absolutely.
True.
Absolutely.
I agree. So I don't even know if we need to even ask you, Sunshine, but I'm just save face. I'm gonna just ask.
Oh, let me go back to her bio. She is living her best
I mean,
life.
I wrote a divorce bio.
Hold on. She is definitely living her best life.
You talking about divorce,
When
so
you
I
said
highlight
bio,
divorce.
I was just doing a couple of sentences.
I know.
Charlie, don't like. I get asked to write bios so much, so I write a bio depending on what we're talking about. I know it's kind of crazy, but
I actually didn't know what to write. I had my
I couldn't
my
write the
kids wrote that.
Sunshine bio. That would have been a totally
My
different
girls
topic.
wrote that for me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So that's how they view
So
me.
how old are your girls?
Well, actually, she'll be 19 on Friday, and then 20. Who she'll be 21 in November.
Okay, and Sunshine.
They're both 25
Okay.
or 26. I can't remember. One of those. They really don't matter with the Grammy.
So-
I mean,
I know,
you know,
that's
the
right.
Grammys here.
And your
like,
Grammy.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to dig into y'all personal business, but not too much. I already know yours. You were married to your daughter's father, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And those your only two, so I know
Yes.
that. Do you have your husband? Is he the kids of all three?
All three.
The father.
You got
Father.
3 kids?
You have 3.
Father
Yeah,
of all
she-
three.
2 girls and
Oh,
a
sorry,
boy.
father.
Oh, okay.
I'm not political correct.
Yeah.
I have the worst part of being political correct.
The pappy.
Hypocrisy.
Are those their daddy? Like, but no, okay.
It's their
So,
daddy.
so with that being said,
Oh no, just kidding. Just kidding.
and
just
you
kidding.
also have 2 by the same.
Yes, I
husband.
have 2 by my ex-husband.
Okay. Do you feel like? Well, I guess because y'all all had the same. But would you get married again, knowing that you have kids by one particular guy, and maybe a new guy may want another child?
Not
Even in your
Not-
heyday. I know we all older now. It's kind of like, oh, our kids are grown now.
I mean,
Kids.
marriage was never my goal. It was never on my list of things to do. So it's not a goal of mine. However, things and circumstances, I'm always open. But right now, I'm good.
And honestly, that's kind of weird because I thought all women wanted to get
No,
married.
no.
No,
Why do men
definitely
think
not.
that?
Why do-
That
No,
is so
that is not the
sucks.
truth.
Because
Yeah.
that's what shows on TV.
No.
That's
No,
This ain't
when I
TV.
played with my Barbie dolls, it was just the Barbie dolls.
And when
So-
I played
so
with
no
my
kids?
Barbie
no
doll,
Ken. No Ken.
my
She
2
was a
Barbies
working-
played with each other.
She was, well, I didn't do that, but they were working women living their best lives.
Yes.
There was no man involved.
Yeah. My mother actually took my Ken doll and threw him away and told me I couldn't have a male doll.
That's funny.
She really did real life shit.
Wow.
I'm scarred forever. Go ahead.
It was just never
I
a
see.
black Ken doll, so I never wanted
I know that. I wasn't a Barbie person because they didn't look like me.
Oh, I had some.
So when you divorced, I'm gonna start with you, Sunshine. What type of support system did you have when you left your ex-husband?
None.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was the one who took care of the family. So making that decision, I was pretty much on my own, which is why it took me. I mean, again, I had my mother, I had my brother, so my life just was taking care of others, and I had to make a lot of changes to be able to be free.
Charlie.
Well, for me, I'm the last of 7 kids. So my siblings are very supportive of me. However, I'm not one to dwell into situations. Like, a lot of people don't know everything about my situation because I don't sit here and stay in it. So once it's over and done, I'm done. I'm moved on. I'm not going to dwell in it. I'm not going to have a whole bunch of conversations about it. I'm not going to have any pity parties. Never had one. If I cry, I did my crying a long time ago and did it alone. So
Do you share your story with other women?
I bits and pieces is, if you ask, I'm open.
Yeah, Charlie's the-
I
yeah.
just don't, because I'm always in the state of, let's have a good time. So I don't want to bring anybody down with a story but if you're asking, I'll tell you, but I try to be positive about it. I'm not going to be, I'm just not going to lay in that pity and that space of bitterness.
What about you, Kandy?
I had a support system. I definitely did. My ex-boss but still friend, was very supportive, and actually she's still supportive. She's actually trying to help me plan my wedding now. And she knew that I needed to leave him. She knew I needed to leave my ex. And she was very vocal about it. She had no problem telling me. And she was just there. I still had other people that were there, but she really made sure that the abuse stopped and all that other stuff that was going on in my life.
Okay, so I can't be the only male up here, and then I have male viewers looking like, how you gonna let them bash all the men?
We're not bashing, though. Nobody's bashing.
I'm just saying that y'all. I think y'all are though.
I don't male bash at all.
How we know that you all weren't the problem?
Let me just say, this is the story I tell. 50% was me, 50% was him.
I can respect that.
And that's exactly how it went down. I can only be responsible for my portion and what I did, and I only could take accountability for me. I cannot take accountability for him or blame him for anything, because every action that I had, it was on me.
Okay.
If I responded to anything that he has done that wasn't correct, that's still on me.
You know what, Charlie? I can respect that. But I know when I go on my right side, it's going to be a whole different percentage. A whole different percentage. Sunshine, how we know that you weren't the problem in your marriage?
I definitely wasn't perfect, especially as things moved on and I became more unhappy. But I never, ever cheated on my ex-husband, not one time. Never. I never slipped out. I never was with another man. He accused me of cheating on a regular basis. And I was in sales, so I moved around a lot. So you can't work when I'm trying to work, and if I didn't answer the phone, it was a problem. If I took too long, if I made a stop and didn't say, I'm not a kid. Like, if I needed to stop at the store, I had to let him know I was stopping. Because otherwise, he'd be like, oh, you should be home in an hour. Why are you still out? Like, the insecurity. And then when I became an athlete, it was ridiculous. Because, like, who are you trying to get in shape for? And it was just a mess. The constant badgering and, send me a picture of where you are. What? And, of course, I'm me. I was still me back then. But I'm just like, that's why I don't tolerate any, BS now. Because I'm like, I've already been through it for 20 years. Like, don't even come for me if you can't accept who I am and how I move. So, yes, it was definitely him. Now, I could have, what I fought myself for is it took me about 15 years to understand how to manipulate our relationship. And just do things to pacify the situation so there wouldn't be so much tension in the household. And a lot of women don't know how to be passive for the sake of argument because they feel like they're belittling their self. But when you're in an unhappy situation and you're trying to find your way out, sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and let whoever, if there's abusive women, let them have their way until you can figure out how to move on.
Well, one thing I want to say is I know manipulation is probably not the word. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's closer. I know manipulation, but I think it's picking and choosing your battles.
Yes. You
just want to pick and choose the battles that will garner the most results.
Well,
and
my fiance, she like all battles. She just I don't care what it is. She do not back down from nothing.
But I say manipulate simply because if I know something needed to happen, I would make him think it was his idea, because it would need to happen. Yeah. Like financially, we were living like the Joneses, and at some point you have to stop accumulating debt.
Exactly.
So I would manipulate a no and make him think it was his no, and it was really my no, which is what I mean.
No,
by
I understand. I understand. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this question. Then I have another question. So answer the question that I asked him.
How much was him and how much was me?
Yes.
50% was drugs and 50% was abuse.
Okay, so you have valid reasons. Okay, I get that.
Those are the two things that broke up our marriage. We could have fought through anything, but he would not stop those two things.
Okay, especially the abuse part. I can get that. Yeah, that's another topic. So I have battled all three of you all. Separate circumstances and differences whatsoever. Now, I know you all are strong, independent women, okay? So what makes it to the public, like, or even those that know you all, that it's more of a, maybe you're too strong. Maybe you didn't let him be the man of the relationship, or maybe you didn't let him,
Well, for me,
run
that
the
was
house.
far from it. I'm very
So let me ask you this question.
passive and submissive. when
Now,
it
I know
comes
we
to
all
men.
grow through age. I mean, through we age. But is the older Charlie a little bit still the younger Charlie?
I am opinionated. However, I am a people pleaser. So I guard what I say. I'm respectful. And, when she said manipulation, when she explained it, exactly that. It's like, okay, I know this is probably the best interest of us, but I'm going to have you believe it's your idea, and so that we can move forward. Or I think now the Charlie you see now is more aggressive. And I had to be, because if the younger Charlie was more passive.
So is that
Yeah.
due to marriage or just life experiences?
Life experiences.
Okay, got you.
That's totally
Shashan?
the same thing. Like my entire life, in everything that I do, everything, my career, family, I've always had to survive. Like I've always had to figure out, even growing up as a kid, we've talked about, growing up interracial struggles. Just it's been constant struggles. So I had to become this person to survive, because otherwise I'd like be in a corner crying all the time. Like
Right.
you can't be in this world alone and be able to fend for yourself if you're not aggressive as a female, especially a black female, if I put that out there.
Yep.
Like we already have it harder than most. So we continually have to prove who we are, our intelligence,
Our worth.
our pride, that we're comparable to everyone else. So I think those things, especially once you go through a divorce, you have to become stronger than you ever were to make it. I mean, and if you want to go back to the survival word, that's how you survive.
All right, Candy.
What was the question?
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, Candy. I'm too
So let me go to my
long-winded.
list of questions here.
I really did want you to repeat the question. Yeah, because I was so busy listening
I'm
to them
sorry.
talk. I forgot the whole question.
So is it part of you now, still part of the younger you? Like the strong feistiness of you now, was it part of you when you were younger?
No, I was very passive. I'm not going to go all the way into it, but I spent a great deal of my life, not even from Michael, but from the time I was 12 to the time I was 32, being abused somehow. So I was really passive in the show.
Okay. All right. I don't want to take over the whole
Yeah.
show. Go ahead.
Oh, you do so well at it.
Oh, okay.
So, Sunshine, there's someone that are newly divorced, and they're going through this, and they about to be divorced, or they ready to get divorced. What would you recommend?
It's really hard to know what to recommend, because it kind of depends on where they're at, what type of planning they've done. I know this great idea, like you always, advice for women is always like, oh, have a savings, like have your own stash of money. That's ridiculous. Like you can't do that necessarily and survive. I think it's more a mindset that you're ready. Like think through it, think about the consequences, how he's gonna treat you. I didn't get out easy. Like it was absolutely ridiculous when it finally ended. I might not even been here the way he reacted to me wanting out. So just be sure that you're strong enough mentally to handle what you're about to start.
Charlie?
I think everyone should. I think if you're down that road, that you should have an exit strategy. I think you should be planning for what it will be like to be alone. So that's what I did. So the last few years, I pretended in my head that I was by myself. So paid all my bills. I did everything. You never saw us together. We never went out anywhere together. You never, with the kids, if we had to do something for the kids in the school, we came through different doors. We came at different times. It was a total, basically, I set the stage for what I wanted to look like later on in order for me to get in the mindset of, hey, I'm going to be by myself. So I think you need to have an exit strategy. You have to plan. Yes, finance is going to be the big part, but you need to have a plan of what it's going to look like mentally. Like, can you be alone? What happens when there's no one to turn to? There's no one when something just happened at work. I need to call somebody. They're not there anymore. That was a struggle for me. That was a struggle.
Kandy?
I would say, like Charlie said in Sunshine, but I would say start planning to be on your own, figure out what it takes for you to take care of your bills by yourself. Start thinking about where you're going to live, how you're going to live. If you leave in an abusive situation, what type of living arrangement can you arrange that they can't get to you? If you just thinking about your support system, knowing who will be there, actually truly be there, and not just there in namesake to help you through this difficult situation. And I would try to part as amicably as possible without it being too much drama, and get everything in writing. Whatever y'all agree to, get it notarized as soon as y'all agree to it, and don't put it off. Get everything in writing, because that's the one thing that saved me. When I got my divorce, my ex-husband tried to take me for child support, alimony, full custody, all kinds of stuff. But right when we got divorced, I went straight to, I took him and we went straight to the notary, and we got everything that we had agreed to notarized. So when we got to the court, I actually showed the judge all the information, and the judge was like, this is what you agreed to. So, I'm not going to change it. So try your best to preempt this stuff before lawyers are involved.
All right. So,
Can
ladies.
I say one thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to add on, I think what a lot of people may be hesitant or resistant to is to be willing to take a loss. If you're always want the win, that's what prolongs the actual act. If you're willing to take a loss, okay, I won't get the car, I won't get X, Y, and Z, whatever that thing is, but just be willing to take a loss so that you can move forward, because sometimes it's something better on the other end anyway. So be willing to take that loss.
And that's probably great advice. And I wouldn't even say just be ready to take the loss, like be ready to start over. Because I lost everything we built for, not my car, because that was mine. But we had a $700,000 home. He refused to help sell it. Lost, gone, got nothing, not a penny. Not only did we lose it, the court had to appoint a trustee to sell the estate because he refused to help sell it. We both lost so much money. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's hard.
I walked away from a house that we were sharing just for my own sanity.
So it's like you got to give up those materialistic things that you're used to.
But now I'm winning.
Exactly. See,
yes, give me some.
So I have a quick question. Well, a couple quick questions before we wrap it up. Do you feel like marriage is a business? Charlie?
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Sunshine? Kandy?
Yeah, I think you should go in it with more than, both should have a lot to lose towards it.
Do you feel like divorce, what percentage would you say most divorces are caused behind finances? Charlie?
90%.
90? Ooh.
I don't know, I'd probably say maybe 60.
60?
And I would say about 70, 70, 60.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not always finances that break up people. I think finance sometimes is the last straw that people are willing to deal with. People can get over cheating; they can get over a lot of stuff. But when you have to deal with all that and y'all broke, you might as well just go ahead and move on.
Or it may not even be broke if you have a lot of money and you're throwing that in the face, like
Boom.
trying to hold someone down with all the money, that can be a detriment also.
I agree.
So, ladies, if you can remember, when is that one moment that you felt like I am free after your divorce?
I think the day I walked out the door, it didn't matter if the paper was signed. I walked out the door and I had keys to my own place.
Okay. Sunshine.
Oh man, what a question. Definitely when my friends took me to Taboo the day my divorce
I knew you was gonna say that.
was
I knew it.
finalized, and I was like, I didn't even know what that was. Like, I didn't even know where I was going, and I was like, yes, I am free. Yeah, never look back.
All right, Kandy.
That day at Joe's Crab Shack, when I was arguing with this guy across the table. I was like, oh yeah, that's my future husband right there.
All right, so look, we had a wonderful time. I wish we would have had more guys to call. I wish we'd have had guys call in, and actually a guy on the panel. But maybe we could have an all-guy panel about this subject.
That's a great idea. I'd
Yeah.
definitely love to hear that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be
Love to hear
calling.
that. I'll be
Look,
calling it.
we'll be
I'll
calling
call
that. Like what you say?
Look, studio audience. But we're gonna go around the room, but give 2 good things that you would tell someone who's contemplating about getting married. About getting divorced.
2 good things.
2 good things that help them.
I think that 2 good things. I think I would tell someone I would ask them, how much do you love yourself? And that answer will pretty much lead you where you need to go.
Okay.
I was thinking the same exact thing. Like you get to learn to love yourself.
Okay. Kandy.
Your next husband would be way better than the first one.
That's if you want a next husband.
And that was going to be another question.
I'm actually engaged to myself. This is my
I believe
ring.
you too.
I'm engaged to me.
So, would you get married again?
I'm open.
Okay. That's Kandy.
Yes, on June 9th.
All right. So, you want to outro them? What?
Sunshine, will you get married again?
We actually talked about this.
okay. I
No, really though.
You didn't say
we
it on
talked
air.
about this last night.
But you got to
But
tell
you
me.
did.
I would definitely have a poly.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I need 2. I need 2 husbands. I'm greedy.
I can't. Not today. Not today, say.
Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel. It's the truth though. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Go ahead.
What am I doing?
You gotta wrap it up.
All right, so I would like to thank Charlie and Sunshine for coming out on this topic of surviving divorce, life after divorce, and just divorce in general. Y'all have gave us a lot of good things to listen to, gave viewers a lot of good things to watch and to hear. And if you're contemplating a divorce, please call us up and come on our next show. We like to talk to you.
All right. So, look, Sunshine, would you like to promote yourself? Anything that you got going on real quick?
No, I did enough of that last night.
What was last night?
Adult Conversation radio show.
Yes.
They're actually on my feed talking about 2 nights in a row, Sunshine. Yes, spread that love. Thank you, Bella. Yeah. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And it was very nice to hear Kandy share. It always is. And it was definitely good to get to know Charlie's past a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for always supporting us on air and off air.
Yes,
You're welcome.
And with KKSE and everything else that we do, we appreciate that.
Of course.
Yes, thank
Charlie,
Well, I
are you
enjoy.
being incognito or you gonna give a little insight in you?
No, well, I don't have anything upcoming or anything like that. However, I'm always trying to spread positivity, spread love, and just power to the people.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Candid Discussion with Kandy.
And Duane.
Okay.
I said it. See, I changed it up. I changed it up for you.
So I don't even speak for you. And our special guest, Charlie and
Sunshine
Sunshine
Aces.
motherfucking Aces.
right, but catch us next Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. here on RipRadioNetwork.com. We appreciate you, ladies, and thank you all for viewing and listening to us. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.